Alright, abusia mama mu akwa abamfa ombra mega TV so ene na your first time amesro so don sabe bo subscribe button no so na don sa ka notification bell no na wa select all eno na ebeboa ma da ne da nyina no ubeti yenka wati ase na yenso yate wonka abusia ene 7th January 2023 happens to be 30th anniversary wati ase since Ghana yenya a constitution 1992 constitution no ye dey boy ho bra no what you say na ene President Akuffo Addo din sembi to dwa ene na ama Ghana fo bebre kasa na ye de ono bema answer na ye de ono bema yen go into history what you say yen ko history kakra efa sa 30th anniversary abusia 1957 na Ghana Independence Day omu declare omu gi omu ho free colonization what you say Portuguese and ye free omu nsam no abusia Kwame Nkrumah be president. Now after the president, a lot of coup, a lot of soja mamu bedi so. Now this is the fourth. What I say. Now 5 coup d'etat, but baku ye den efeli enti eno de yamfanka history ho. But 98 Mr. CD mani be coup d'etat o maimu. Now Echekra na yehu se oman no se ekoso di soja mamu bu oman na abusia emboa enti omoye omadwen penfo di ye omadwen se ombe den ombe declare democracy governance what you say enti democracy governance na omo sha se ombe draw constitution enti constitution na abusia omo draw na 1992 constitution a omutimi draw omo draw ya omo de bo oman ho bra enti ho na Jerry John Lawrence oye na adwen se ene de sisi anu se ne oman ne sia ne de ye declare democracy dia enti na ono nso betina so kopense omo afe enan beso what you say 4 years beso no omo ato aba na omo ayi na to nchen ana so omo besan di na sisu bio na abusia omo to aba na omo yi ni si nchen na omo de Jekum Akuffo ena obaye what you say na Akuffo nso baye obeyebi what you say ehona yewura atamos nso baye na yewura atamos nso baye obeyebi ehona fufi anto ata odane baton ne de hye John Dramani Mahama ena Mahama nso beyebi what you say ayende abewie Akuffo Addo so yi what you say na abusia saa nsensenwe ena ene celebrate 30th anniversary enti ye president Nana Akuffo Addo din sembi to dwa ewase ene na ma Ghana fo bebre omudi hu nkomo na yenko tie nsem na president odi to dwa na answer na ebekon mestro se high mega TV fa unsabo subscribe button no so na bo modina attach notification bell no ene na bebo ama brain na no unsa bitimi akan abusia yenko
democracy. So it was that on 28th April 1992, some 31 years ago, we approved by an overwhelming margin in a referendum of that day, with 3,408,119 persons, representing 92.59% in favor, with 272,855 persons against, i.e. a mere 7.41%. The adoption of the provisions of the Constitution of the Fourth Republic, which set up the institutions of a liberal democratic state, operating on the basis of the separation of powers with express guarantees of fundamental human rights. It was thus promulgated with immense popular backing. Tomorrow, Saturday, 7th January 2023, will be exactly 30 years since the Constitution of the Fourth Republic came into force, with the inauguration into office of the first president of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency, the late Jerry John Rawlings. It has inspired the longest period of stable constitutional governance in our history, with consensus emerged strongly that the demo of governance is preferable and the benefit showing. Hence the decision to celebrate 7th January as Constitution Day. Our country is considered a beacon of democracy and stability in Africa, where respect for the principles of democratic accountability, human rights, and the rule of law have enabled us to oversee 8 presidential elections in the Fourth Republic, with 5 presidential transitions and 3 peaceful transfers of power through the ballot box from one party to another. We have every right to be proud of this record, and the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Fourth Republic should inspire us even further to hold on to this status. Fellow Ghanaians, I acknowledge that the strength of any democracy is very much determined by the credibility of its electoral process and respect for the will of the people. We cannot overlook the fact that instability has followed disputed elections in many parts of the African continent. That is why we in Ghana must continue to urge the Electoral Commission to work to ensure that all stakeholders in the electoral process, that is the citizenry, civil society, and political parties, do not have lingering questions about the legitimacy of an election. On the 2 occasions in which disputes have arisen over the results of presidential elections, happily, it was in the court and not on the streets that the issues were satisfactorily resolved. By all accounts, we've come a long way, and we should not take it for granted that everybody in Ghana has accepted democracy as the preferred mode of governance. There are those who would rather have authoritarian rule because they claim our country is underdeveloped and democracy is cumbersome, and we need to get things done in a hurry. We still have some work to do to convince such people that we are all safer under democracies. Nevertheless, if we seek to prolong our democratic journey, it is imperative that we enhance transparency and accountability in our governance structures and build strong institutions that can fight corruption and the dissipation of public funds. I say, without any form of equivocation, that my government has undertaken arguably the boldest initiative since independence to reform and strengthen the capacity of our institutions to tackle corruption in the public sector, including the empowerment of the anti-corruption, passage of the Right to Act, which previous administrations had been unable to effect, establishment, the Office of Special Prosecutor, an independent non-partisan body with a relevant professional capability and exclusive mandate to investigate and prosecute acts of corruption. As President of the Republic, I assure you that out of duty to our children and grandchildren, and to generations yet unborn, my government will not give up when it comes to deepening our democracy and guaranteeing the integrity of the electoral process. And neither should you, the Ghanaian people. We do not have to look far back into history to see that stable period of constitutional government and intelligent management of the economy lead to prosperity. We must do everything within our means to safeguard our democracy. Tomorrow's milestone is to the great credit of you, the Ghanaian people, the ordinary men and women who make up the fabric of our nation. 30 years ago, all of us resolved to build under God a united nation, grounded in democratic values and the rule of law. We've advanced a great deal in realizing this vision, and I'm confident that with a spirit of fairness, hard work, integrity, and reconciliation, the best days of Mother Ghana lie ahead of us. Even though we're presently confronted with difficulties in our economic performance, I do not doubt our collective resolve to work our way out of these challenges and put our nation back onto the path of progress and prosperity. Let us therefore continue to work to create the platform for the evolution of a new Ghanaian civilization, which will thus give meaning, true meaning, to the foundational values of freedom and justice on which our nation was birthed. Long live Constitution Day. Long live Ghanaian democracy. Long live the Fourth Republic. Thank you for your attention and have a good evening. I wish all of you a happy new year.